geopolitics going on at the moment. Obviously, we've got Brexit, we've got the US elections. Let's start with Brexit. What are some of the impact and implications that you see from a supply chain perspective that is going to affect not only the consumer, but organizations who are importing and exporting goods?
Let's just focus on one of the myriad of things that are going to be an issue there. Customs. You bring in anything in from a country to a country, across in two sovereign states across a border, be it hard, soft, or otherwise, you're going to either need A, a customs agreement, or B, a hard border where things are checked. They're currently in the world legally, they're the only two ways we can get around it. We have the agreement, or you have the hard border checks. If you've got the agreement, that's fine. We can move. It may put some time on. You may it may start to bottleneck while in process, while that's implemented in process, things like that. But it's not something that we'd look to impact long term. If it was a hard border, so between Ireland ourselves, that's going to be much more difficult and much more constrictive. One, it's going to be very, very labour intensive to do that. So the weight, the whole logistics of processing packages coming into the country, material, resource, in that manner, it doesn't bear thinking about it. It's going to take huge amount of resource, huge amount of time. For the companies that are wanting to export, import, there's been numerous missives put out by companies' house. You need this license, that license, fill in this form, this form. So the actual legalities behind it are relatively swept up. It takes a bit of resource to, complete everything, but you can get your license numbers, things like that. The hard thing is doing it in person. If you've got somebody ordering your product from UK and there's 7,000 trucks, which I think it was muted in the press this morning, the 7,000 trucks on the M27, and your number 6,999, your customer isn't going to get that product in the timely manner that they expect it. And if we look at the big boys on the market like Amazon, people press Prime delivery and will expect to see that in a reasonably short period of time, quite often next day. Now, if you're selecting something and it says this from UK and you think that's going to come with a tax, a customs charge, I'm going to have to go to my local post office to pick it up because they're not going to deliver it to my letterbox because I've got to pay that charge. And B, it's going to take me 6 weeks to get my, Harry Potter book or whatever it is. It's going to take me 6 weeks. And the customs charge is actually, and the import charge and the tax is more than the product was worth. So you've got a whole myriad of issues where people will just see that Union flag and go, is there somewhere else that I can order this from? Coming into the UK, it's going to be very, very similar where the suppliers are looking at, do I want my, 130,000 displaced tons of ship sat in that port for 3 weeks while they get around to unloading it? Or do I want to park it up in Germany where, say Hamburg, for example, where it can be done in hours?
Yeah.
And I may go, well, actually, we're better going there, putting it on the supply chain through the land routes. So several ways that it's going to impact, but I think it will come down to consumers. Will the consumer, in order to stay loyal, go, I'm willing to take the hurt, take the hurt and pain, and wait a protracted period of time to get my item, or do I want it tomorrow? Click.